this type of, yeah, okay, recording just started, yeah. So it
Yeah,
shouldn't start, it
my
shouldn't start before.
apologies.
And that's part of what I want to, talk to the IT about, because I'm familiar with Zoom, really, really familiar with that. I teach it, but this I'm not that familiar with. So can you have somebody contact me, from the mayor's office?
Yeah. Gonna write it down, so.
Yes, yes. And can I just introduce myself?
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Great. Hi, I've met the people in the room, but my name's Marie Husa, and I'm the constituent relations for Mayor LaFrance. And myself and Barbara Jones, the deputy chief of staff for the mayor, will be staffing this. So we're the contact with the mayor's office should you need anything. So, and Mr. Millspaw, happy to work with you. I will email you about the recording.
Thank you. And is Barbara the same one that was with the prior, mayors as the, clerk?
Yes, she was the municipal clerk. Yes.
Great,
she
yeah,
was-
yeah.
Yes.
Nice lady, I like her.
Oh, good.
Okay. Good to go, Al? Or did you have anything else?
No, that's it. No, I just have to learn more about this system here. Thank you.
All right. Under old business, the only reason I let Jack Henry on there for old business is because it was gonna be going to the Parks and Rec Commission. And what was the outcome of that?
We didn't have a meeting last month because we didn't meet quorum, but we will be having a meeting Thursday.
Okay,
So we're gonna be discussing it then.
all right. So they'll be discussing that this Thursday. And maybe this other one, I have to get this letter done. If we do decide to do it
I think this one will go to the next.
to the
meeting.
next month.
Yeah,
All right, the shared drive and email for the commission. We did that, at least the two people are still running it. I sent that out. You guys got that email when I sent out where the drive was and what the email was?
Yeah, I got it, and I think I posted a picture on it.
All right. I should have taken that off. The thank you letters, we'll get rid of that. Because that was done for last month, just so I could ask, Trista if they'd gone out, but it's all changed over. All right, new business. Flag Day, the American Legion Post 1 recap. Did any of you make it
No,
over
I
there for
didn't.
the American Legion?
I didn't make it.
I did. And to me, it wasn't very organized because I got there, I introduced myself and tried to find out who, just see what was going on, and nobody seems to know much. And basically, we just hung around the front of the place until somebody came out with some flags and they raised them up. Nobody mentioned anything about a barbecue, about go back, the flag burning or anything else like that. I just kind of followed the crowd back there. So I was kind of disappointed, really.
Yeah. In the past, it's a whole big show out in front, big ceremony, and then, they tell everybody about the barbecue, but they usually did they have a band or anything?
Nope, just people, they said, hey, you want to go back to watch the flag being burnt? And they follow the crowd back and back in the back area. Didn't mention anything about any barbecue or anything like that, and just after it was over, everybody kind of just went their way.
I was there
Wow.
last year. Last year was pretty good. I mean, they had
Yeah.
food, there was a ceremony, there was quite a few people.
So they didn't even have the barbecue?
I don't know because there's no mention about it. And I asked, and I said, is there a barbecue? And some people I asked, they didn't have any idea. There was nothing out where they burned the flags, to represent that. And
Yeah.
nor did they mention anything.
Huh. Because maybe, I don't know, is it last year when they did, was it later in the day also?
Yeah, it was afternoon, I believe, that they did it.
Yeah, because in the past, it was always like they started it like around lunchtime and then it went throughout the afternoon.
Yeah,
And I guess they've changed it now to where they're doing it, because too many people were complaining about they getting off, they couldn't get off work to go to it.
yeah,
But they were even here, they were here at the meeting beforehand and told us they're having a barbecue, they're having this, they want, they were gonna have like 50/50s and they had a door prize that they were giving away.
yeah, they did that
And,
last year
That's why
too.
they were asking us because they wanted us to come and be part of it with them again.
Yeah,
And maybe like hand out tickets or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
they had the door prize. They gave up. Somebody went around giving out tickets for the door prize. Yeah, I was not impressed. The grass wasn't even cut where they had the flag ceremony in the barbecue, supposedly barbecue. The grass was kind of high.
Yeah. But you can kind of tell if they're gonna have a barbecue, because that one area that's right up by the building, it has all the grills
Yeah,
and
they'll be cooking.
counters and cooks and sink and stuff there. And if there's nothing there, then they weren't doing anything.
Didn't see anything.
And were you the only one? Did Eleanor or Roger make it?
Just my wife, and my dog.
Yeah, because I knew I wasn't gonna make it, because I had to go over and support my wife for the flag burning over at the AMVets, which turned out pretty good once everybody got the crazy woman to stop being crazy. Tell you a story. All right. Well, thank you, Al. We'll remember that for next year now. All right. A World War I KA for the memorial. Man's name is Edwin M. Staton, and I'm gonna let Melanie talk first, because that's what she's here about.
Hi, my name is Melanie Hess, and I'm with the Parks and Recreation Department. And I was at the meeting last month because we were talking about getting Jack Henry's name on the memorial at the Anchorage Veterans Memorial. And so while I was helping getting some background information for that, I came across a list that was put together by what was then the Territory of Alaska, that did put a list of all World War I veterans. And on that list, one person was identified additionally as killed in action, and that was Edwin M. Staton. And so I went ahead and, since we're going to go ahead and put information or put Jack Henry on the memorial, or try to see if there's anybody else. So I found supporting documentation to prove that he was an Alaska resident and that he was killed in action in a war. And so I have this supporting documentation. Some of the files from that era, I guess, were burned. Like a lot of the files got lost in a fire at the National Archives. But there is some documentation that I found online that's publicly available. This first one is burial cards. They're archived by the National Archives, and they are listed. I forget if it's by date or possession, but anyway, I was able to find Edwin Staton's burial card. His cause of death is listed as KA, so killed in action, and he was killed in Cunel, France in October 1918, and that would be less than a month before the end of the war. And additionally, I found this documentation that's available online. It is a list of all casualties from World War I, and that one is listed by state or U.S. possession, and Alaska at that time was a U.S. possession. So he is listed under killed in action, Edwin M. Staton. His serial number is the same and matches the burial card. And so that is documentation for him being killed in action in World War I. And then as far as Alaska residency, that was a little tougher to dig up, but he lived in Iditarod, Alaska. He was appointed, let's see, I forget the actual position, but he was appointed as a commissioner, U.S. commissioner for the Iditarod region, which at the time was a gold mining town for a a supplying port for Flat, Alaska, which was a gold rush town. So he was there from 1911 until he left to join the war effort. And so I just have found a number of documents from the local newspaper that is also available online, thankfully. It was the Iditarod Pioneer, and since he was appointed commissioner, he was a lawyer at one point. He was on the city council and mayor, so he is listed regularly through there. And as documentation for his residency, we are suggesting at the Parks Department that he was a resident because he was involved in local elections. He was appointed, or he was elected to local council. So I just have some documentation that shows that. And he's also listed in these local papers. They've listed everything. They have him on an outgoing passenger, that they had a list of outgoing passengers and incoming passengers every week. In his last trip was documented that he was on his way to Washington, D.C. And he was leaving to join the Army so that he could join World War I. And additionally, there's a obituary that was published by the Cordova Daily Times that talks about his death as well. And similarly, another obituary that was printed in the Princeton Alumni Weekly, because he was an alumni of Princeton. And so that was printed in January 1919. So that's the documentation I have for him. And so we're looking to the Military and Veterans Affairs Commission for their support for his name to also be listed on the Anchorage Veterans Memorial. Yeah, let me know if there's any questions. Kind of zoomed through that. And just an interesting side note, Edwin M. Stanton was the grandson of President Lincoln's war secretary of the same name.
Yep. Of the war secretary that served on the same cabinet as the person who bought Alaska.
Ah,
Because it was his Secretary of State, that Seward, that bought the state for like pennies on the
mhm.
acre from the
Interesting.
Russians. Yeah. So of the requirements to be on the wall, you have to be an Alaska resident, you had to been in the military, and you had to been killed in action. Or similar. And of course, we got government documents that show that he was in the military and was killed in action. There's several of them. So the one, and that, like Melanie said, the one that's a little bit harder is the residency. In the past, the ones we've had in the past, you had a registration card where, because the person registered here in the state and then flew out to training and to basic training and that. Where in his case, because he was a prior military person and a prior officer, he took and flew to Washington, D.C. because he wanted to go get a hold of some of the people that he served with when he was younger to try to get a direct commission, get to the military, get to the action and take off and go over there. And if you read through this, you'll see where he was writing, a friend of his that was an officer, and telling about how, well, he went and he tried to do that. And they said, no, they said it would take a month or two to actually get through the process and get his commission back and to go, that the fastest way for him to do would be just to enlist. And so that's what he did. He just enlisted as an enlisted person to go. And then by the time he quickly gained the ranks because of being a prior officer, he gained, pick up the corporal before he left, and he got sergeant slowly after getting in country. And at one point, at one of the documents even lists him as top sergeant, which means he was the first sergeant of the small unit that he was with. or the head sergeant, because they did the ranks a little differently back then. So I think, in my opinion, and if you go through, I mean, there is a plethora of articles that Melanie's put together that talks about him, right up to to include the one that, the last couple I think are the best, because they're the ones that were talked about where he turned and stuff, so listen, I'm going to be leaving to go to Washington and go join the army, join the military, for the war, this, that, and everything, and also with the pieces of him, running for office or holding offices in the community he was living. I think that, I do agree. I think that, supports the fact that, he was a resident of the state. It was 8, 9 years he was here, doing different things in that, at least.
At least 8 years in Iditarod. And there's a reference to him being in the north for 2 years prior to that. So, when I think he was stationed at Fort Seward on his initial time in the military, and that's where he got out of the military.
Yeah, when he came up here.
And he stayed in the last one.
I
Yeah.
thought it was kind of cool, the fact that he was an officer at one point. But when he went back to go in, he volunteered to be an enlisted
Yeah,
person.
he went back,
To go through World War One.
yeah, because he went back and they told him that it would take too long for him to get his commission back. And then to get over there, and he wanted to go, so he decided just to enlist.
Yeah.
So I would entertain a motion to for us to recommend that he be added to the wall.
I'll make, you wanted, who's doing it? I'll make a motion that we forward his name onto the Park and Rec to be included on the memorial.
All right. So we got a motion and Sam seconded it. All right, all in favor? Any opposed? None. All right. So I'll write up that letter just like the other one and I'll send it to you.
Great, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right. That's in new business. Anybody else have any new business that we need to bring up?
I
right.
got something for, I don't know if you new business or trying to figure out where we put it. It's just a comment I want to make. Let's see, German for the good of, maybe under for the good of commission.
Okay. Let's give us a second. Let's see. Does anybody have any events that are coming up? I didn't have a chance to go run and cruise through all the different sites and that. I know there was a couple things coming up. I know we got Palomia Day coming up on J-Bear in September, but I'm not sure if it's still, if it should be the 12th, but I don't remember.
What is that?
They have this little, well, it's changed over the years. Every year it's a little different. In the past, they had a stage and they would do a couple presentations and they talk about some stuff. My motorcycle club, we do the Fallen Warrior ceremony. And it changed this last year. It was in like a gym. And they do it in conjunction. They have this great big long rucksack march that they all go on, the different services. But this is done in conjunction with it right before. Last year we did it in a gym and it wasn't really a stage and it was a little small. So I don't know. Every year, there's a couple of years that didn't even have it because nobody put it together. So I can assume that it's coming up, but that's why I didn't add it to here because I haven't been able to find out any information for it this year.
Let's see. We just had a veteran town hall. I feel like that needs to be pushed out in the community better because there was one couple veteran from the community that showed up at the VA. So I'm going to be supporting the other ones throughout Alaska, but I don't know if there's anything we can do to support helping that get out there anymore next time we have one in Anchorage, because that was pretty sad to see. We only had 2 veterans show up.
Well, that's we can put it out on our Facebook.
Yeah,
We put it out on our Facebook and that's,
that's
you,
what it's been.
yeah, it's you.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can put it on our Facebook and send it out to the rest of us, because
I can do that.
especially if you send out, because we all have members of different organizations that we can share that with.
Yeah, well, I didn't get the flyer for that one until like, it was like the day before. And so I went and they have it on Facebook and stuff, but it doesn't, whatever they do, it doesn't like populate, because like it didn't, there was nobody, almost nobody went.
Wow.
Yeah, so, yeah, can I share the ones outside of Anchorage too, or just the ones for Anchorage?
You can share the ones outside.
Okay,
I mean, we're based on Anchorage.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean we can't share stuff,
okay.
especially in our Facebook, that we can't share that affects the whole state.
I'll
Yeah,
share,
so many veterans out in the valley.
Yeah.
And Eagle River,
yeah.
and they all part of.
So I can share that stuff. There are some events on base going on for military families. So we'll have the Halloween deal, which is I think they're doing it in September. They don't have the flyer done yet. And that will be for all the branches, but the Army National Guard is putting it on. And I'll be supporting that as well. So as soon as there's a flyer for that, I can share that too.
Yes, I say there's a National Guard thing coming up.
Well,
To
they-
joint,
There's a big thing going on with the Air Guard. They're having a bunch of changes as far as their leadership here between September and October. So that's going on. Like the wing commander is retiring and another
Yeah.
taking his place.
yeah, the National Guard just had a change of command with one of their
Yeah.
key officers too.
And also don't forget the Federation of Community Councils, excellent contact to get the word out and stuff, primarily for the municipality though. But that's a good vehicle. I'm really involved in that. I'm a delegate for the Federation.
What is that?
Federation of Community Councils,
Okay,
there's 37 councils within Anchorage, the municipality of Anchorage. So the Federation is the excellent way to get stuff out too.
cool.
The only other thing I do have going on is something I set up last year. This year it's going to be very busy. At the fair, I set up a resource tent, and it has resources for veterans, it has resources for active duty, it has resources for civilians, and it's all going to be in one spot. So it's for substance use, mental health, just really overall recovery, wellness. So I'll have some Army National guys, Guard guys out there from the suicide prevention team. Gonna bring some gaming units and stuff, and think I might have the National Crisis Response canines out there, and then a bunch of nonprofits, both veteran and civilian as well. So that's
Have
New
you
thing.
considered ESGR?
what's that?
Employer Support Garden Reserve? We do a lot. I volunteer with them. And we go to some functions like that also.
Yeah,
You know, because you have your guard people that work outside,
right.
and if they have conflict, the militaries or bosses or vice versa, you know, we try to help out with that.
Well, yeah, let's talk and see if you guys got anybody that would want to come support, because I'm looking for anybody especially with lived experience in recovery or in the military, because we do get a lot of people that come in there and they'll process, losing loved ones or talk about all sorts of stuff. So I'm trying to have something for everybody that walks in over there. And
My emails,
I
even my messaging,
think so somewhere.
let's get together after this.
Yeah,
Let's say everybody should have each other's emails, because the emails go out to all of us.
Yeah.
When I send it out, and I don't hide any of the emails for the purpose that we can get a hold of each other.
So yeah, I have your stuff. And then, of course, there's like games and raffles and all the fun stuff.
One thing I wanted to also bring up was I'm not sure if you've already had this conversation, David, with the new mayor's office, but just making sure that what the commission is doing is meeting the objectives of the mayor's office and what Mayor LaFrance would like us to be doing. I don't know if there's any change in kind of what our mission is or what our responsibilities are, but I just thought that would be maybe good to talk about, or if that conversation hasn't happened, to get it.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet. I've tried to get in with her. I've asked a couple times for an appointment and that, but they are like, just stick with the boards and commissions people for right now. So that's what I've been
Okay.
doing. And all I can do is just keep going off of what's on the website and what we've been doing.
Absolutely. Thank you for doing that.
And she'll stop by in a little bit.
Yeah, she's actually supposed to come into the meeting here to say hello to everybody in a few minutes, so we can drill with questions. Well, this is a good way to because the discussion we're having, I think, is a good transition in for the good of the commission, because I think it'll go along, because we're talking about things that I think is good for the commissions, for us talking to each other. And just along with that, to remind everybody, if you come across anything that's an event or something that's coming up that would be good for the commission, or if it's a veteran thing, a military thing, or if it's someplace that maybe we could get information for the military and veterans communities from the community, share it with the rest of the commission. Email it out to the commission, especially like Sam, if it's something good, Sam can put it on the Facebook page. But the rest of us, then we also have the information, because it might be something that we might be interested in. Maybe not always 100% for the commission, but it might be for some of the other interests and the other things that we have going on. And that it might be something that maybe Sam said, hey, I can get Banyan's information out this place also, those kind of things. So just to remind everybody. Al, you had something for the good of the commission?
Yeah, at the Alaska Airlines over UAA, I met retired Colonel Thulin Wright Novak, which I believe you know, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned you know. And what he does, he will come to somebody's house or meet at any location and do a verbal history of that individual. And that's kind of a thing he has going. And I've got his information, and you just give him a call and set up a meeting with him. But he'll come in, he'll need your DD Form 214, but just discuss your whole career and your high point, your low point, or whatever you want to discuss, you know, and all your awards. But he wants to get the history of the individuals. And I guess he puts this together in a package or something, and it's a hobby he has. But I got the information. I'll mail it to you, Dave, unless you already have it. And it's really a great thing, I think, you know, and pass around to any military who's retired or maybe they've been in for a long time. It's a great thing, I think. Thank you.
Why don't you go ahead and email it to all of us?
Okay.
And I think, would you like to have that copy of that also?
Yes, please.
Will
I
do.
should. Thank you so much, sir.
Does anybody else have anything for the good of the commission? All right, I have one last thing. Yeah, most of you know, Eleanor came in late, so she didn't know, but
Pretty good though, 25 minutes all the way from Boniface and Tudor with the construction and
It's a good thing that Childress isn't here anymore. But Mike Paulson and Roger Finley are resigning from the commission.
no.
Yeah. Roger says he's getting way too busy with work and that. And
What's
just
Mike,
can't do it.
what's boss? Too much interfering with his trial.
maybe. Annette. But, so we're down to, right now, we're down to 6 members. Amal's in, Fort Wainwright today, and so his schedule at Fort Wainwright, wasn't sure if he'd be able to make it for the Zoom meeting or not, or the Teams meeting. So that means we have, 3 empty spaces instead of 1. So we need to start looking and talking to people about if they would like to come and be on the, to apply to be on the Military and Veterans Affairs Commission. And it would be nice to round off, as we always say, we always go through, if we could find some, more female veterans and some Native Alaskan veterans that live in the Anchorage community. They have to be in, not, that's Anchorage, Girdwood, Eagle River, Peters Creek, that, within the Anchorage Bowl area. All right. Everybody, the mayor has just walked in and would like to address the commission. Ma'am?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And there are folks on,
Yeah, we have two of the commissions on.
where would you like me to be?
Anywhere you want to be. You can kick us out, sit down, stand up.
Sit next to Dave.
Now I see you.
Yes, there we go.
There you go.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Suzanne LaFrance and very happy to be here. First off, thank you all for your service to our country and also to our community on this commission. Very much appreciate what you all do. And I just caught the tail end talking about recruitment efforts and I know Marie is here and however we can help. But also wanted to say too, I recognize how many active service people we have here and how many retired military folks. And that many people come up here and end up retiring here. And that is definitely an area of the community that we want to be connecting with. And just on the JBER side, we are working to build some of those relationships and have meetings. And then definitely on the retiree side, want to have that contact. And mostly, I just want to hear from all of you how we can support you and what kind of feedback, what kind of ideas and suggestions you have. And then to just say thank you so much for being on this commission and again for serving our country. I'm grateful to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't think about it. I probably should have. Would you like us to introduce ourselves to you?
That'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm David Foley. I'm the current chair for the commission and been around for a while. Go ahead.
I'm Ellen Lawson, Eleanor, but you can call me Ellen Lawson, and I'm the co-chair. Somebody has to look after him.
Yes, keep me straight because I miss the time. Go ahead, Sam.
My name is Sam Garcia and I joined recently, but I've been supporting for about a year now, I think, right? So, a year. And, besides this, I work out in the community. I work a lot with veterans and active duty members that are experiencing substance abuse or mental health. And I've been out in the field working in the homeless community for about 6 years now. And then we have a treatment facility out in Wasilla. And so that's where a lot of my support goes to. So, thank you.
Al?
Al Millspaw, and I've been involved with this commission for about 4 months now. But also I've been involved for years with the community council, which I know you through that. And been in Anchorage, got here in 1980, and I'm one of those retirees who decide to stay here. And obviously we all know why. So yeah, Alaska's my place, our place, my wife and I. Thank you.
My
Jacob?
name is Jacob Darley. I've been with the commission since January, and I'm primarily here just to be useful however I can.
It's good.
Oh,
And
and
we
I'm
got
the
one.
secretary.
I would suggest, presenting information to get World War I veteran on the Anchorage Veterans Memorial in Delaney Park. So I'm from Parks and Rec. Yeah.
I thought,
Yeah.
double duty.
I forgot to mention that I'm also a retiree, 32 years in the Air Guard, 25 COLIS. And I've stayed in with all of my for folks that are now retired. We have a nice big group of all retirees of Air Guard folks. And several organizations in town that I volunteer with, so like ESGR and then the VFW, members of the city VFW, that sort of things. Here's my toes in it.
We have one other member that's still on the commission, Amal Alagawada. And he's up in Fairbanks right now. He's up there at Fort Ridge or Fort Wayne, working for work.
Oh, okay. Well, and I don't want to interrupt your meeting, and I'm not sure what other business you have in your agenda, but if there's any like feedback or anything you wanted to share, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, we're almost done. So does anybody have any questions for the mayor that they have?
I was gonna suggest that maybe the application for this particular position, it was really confusing for me and I had a hard time with it, and I'm not totally stupid, but I'm not smart, like, like a smartphone.
Techie.
Just had a smart refrigerator that I had to give back.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that I submitted it once and there was something went wrong with it. Cause
Really?
I was asked to submit it a while back, so I did, but something happened, it didn't go through all the way or something. So I
Interesting.
submitted it again and then that's, yeah.
Yeah, because you submitted yours at the same time Al did, if I remember.
I submitted it a while back and then,
Yeah, because Sam's been coming around a while and he decided he wanted to be a member of the commission. And he's literally, that's why it's hard to sit back and say, the new guy will know. He submitted and we've actually been having him, thinking of him as a member of the commission, but his stuff did get messed up and he had to resubmit it. And then something happened that didn't, it took like
oh, yeah.
three of the council meetings before it actually got voted on by the city council. It got
Interesting.
approved.
And, and is this online,
Yeah.
Ellen, and just on the boards and commission
Yeah.
application?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. And when was this? I know you said,
Oh, God.
when was the most
What-
recent one?
The most recent one was, 5 months ago.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
about when I
Yeah.
came on.
And then,
And he's still not listed as one of the members of the board
Okay.
online.
yeah, and then
If-
before that, it was
yeah.
probably a good 3-4 months before that I put in the other one.
Okay.
And it.
Is the application online?
Yeah.
Is what's difficult and not the assembly approval process or both?
So,
I think it was just something with the online portion, because I did the exact same thing I did this time, I did last time, but for some reason it didn't go through to you guys
Oh, interesting.
as an application. So
Okay.
they couldn't find it.
yeah.
Okay, well, good to know,
Yeah.
good to know. So I will look into that. And yours too, Ellen, was about
Yeah,
5
it
months
took me a
ago?
while.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Okay,
And and it gets confusing online because there are two places online that list the boards
mm-hmm,
and commissions. If you end up going to the one, the names that are listed on the boards and commission, all but one of them now is no longer on the
Okay.
commission. I
It
mean,
just
they
needs to
were
be
off the
updated.
commission
okay,
2 years ago.
I will take care of that.
Then
Okay,
the other one is current, but then again, like I said, it still has Trista's name on it. That's, so from July, it hasn't been updated for the new administration with your guys' information
Right.
and phone numbers.
oh, okay.
And then of course, Sam's not listed on it yet.
Mhm, not yet, right.
Although there again, it should, I think it was official in April or May. It was official that was told it was official that the
Yeah.
The council had voted on it, so, but that's just, it gets a little confusing for
Okay.
And-
if I,
it would be, yeah, go ahead, Al.
if I could add, also, the notification that we are officially a member, I had to actually research mine and I found out that it was approved at the Senate meeting prior, a month before. I didn't even know about it, and so I had mentioned to the commission here that, hey, I'm officially on now because I did my research, but otherwise, maybe a lot of people won't do that. So that was kind of cumbersome there too.
Yeah.
The official
Well-
notification.
Great. Well, thank you very much. I am noting that and I'll report to you next month on steps we've taken. Totally, it's.
And it appears, but it would be nice to know for sure. For some reason, at one point in the past, this commission and this commission only was changed from 3 years to 1 year. And it actually took us by surprise because we were set back and told, hey, you guys are all expired. And like, how can we be expired? We just filled out and reapplied our stuff last year.
Okay,
And it's been changed to 1 year for this commission.
okay.
So the last thing over the last 6 months of the prior administration, they said, no, we're working on making it, we don't know why it got changed, but we're working on making this commission like all the rest of them 3 year.
Yeah,
Now, right now, on the commission's page, when it lists us, the one that's more current, it is actually broken down and all of them sit back and say, everybody's listed as 3 years.
okay.
Myself, Mike Paulson, who's submitting his resignation, and one other person, we have to renew ours this year. Some other people next year, Sam and Roger are good for a couple years. For the two, to
Yeah.
go through. So it'd be nice to know, is that factual? Is that what's on the page, is that factual? Because that way now it's August. Everything has to be submitted by October. Now's the time that we would like to be able to remind our fellow commissioners, okay,
Yeah.
you have by October to get your, if you want to stay on the commission, you have by October to get your stuff
Right,
reapplied for.
right. And by code, the terms do stagger so that
Yeah.
your terms won't all expire in
Right.
3 years. So it's staggered when people
Yeah.
get assigned.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're assigned that and then just having to reapply if they're interested.
So hopefully that's right now
Mhm.
and that's correct and they got it all
Yeah.
straightened up, but it'd just be
Yeah.
nice, for sure.
Yes, and that's what I have to say with the prior administration, the ones they had assigned to boards and commission did a great job, wonderful job straightening up the system because we have had problems before on boards and commissions as far as information
Yeah.
about terms. We didn't know whose term expired, and that really has been cleaned up. And so I have to
Yeah.
admit, I'm behind on updating because I'm afraid to touch the system until I've received training from IT, which I have scheduled this week, because like I said, those terms have been cleaned up so well that I'm afraid to enter somebody's name and mess it up. So I will, so hopefully by next
Understandable.
week, it will all be in order and accurate, and I will make sure to report that.
Yeah, Al?
Yeah, and about 10 years ago, I served on the Animal Control Advisory Board,
Mhm.
and we were a 3-year term. But when it comes time for renewal, all they did was just let the assembly know we didn't have to reapply. They just let the assembly know that we still had
Interesting.
still want to continue on, and unless there was another reason, the assembly, they voted us back in again, automatically
Ah.
renewed it. It was really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into that.
Simple.
Makes it easier than fill out the application.
Mhm.
It's all the same. So one last thing. If you could give us what you envision or what you would like the commission to do for you.
And may I take that as a to-do? As
Yeah.
far as, okay, I didn't know if you wanted a a specific answers right
No, no.
now? Okay, yeah, and I'll just say high level wise, coming in, we're focused on stabilizing. There are a lot of vacancies in the municipality and looking at ways in which we can be more agile and flexible with HR. And I know that there have been, for example, retirees across the board who've asked about like part-time and flex time work. So it's possible you all may be tapped into a potential employment pool as we roll out, some of those initiatives. And so, ensuring that we have a workforce that really represents our community in all ways possible is a priority. And then just high level from there, as far as administrative priorities go, we're very focused on public safety, safe trails and streets, and that's going to include snow plowing, unsheltered homelessness, and staffing up APD as well. And then finally building out our future. And I think, like all of you, probably have some real specific ideas too about ways in which we can be more supportive, responsive to the needs of veterans in this community, or what is it that's attractive? And we all know why this place is wonderful, but as far as like keeping people here, keeping it wonderful and making sure that it remains a place where, active military want to retire here. I would love, to hear from you, suggestions, recommendations, or ways we can all engage together. Cause I just want to be really clear that it's very important to us, the administration, to work with all of you. We recognize the contributions of our active and retired service people, and want to have strong partnerships and want to be making sure that we're aligning municipal resources correctly too. So, that if there's something that you identify as an area of need, we're working together to address that. But I can come back with things, but mostly I'm hoping to use you all as a brain trust, since you're the experts in this area, and, would love to hear your recommendations and suggestions for how we can improve those areas.
Good.
If that works.
Yep.
But I'm making a note here to think about specifics, and Marie is fabulous and amazing and has taken notes, and probably maybe you already have a list of things you wanted to share.
Yeah.
Marie.
No, yeah, I was going to share earlier, just when we've outlined, like you said, your priorities, and we just received information from the mayor's transition team on what's important to the community. So as we've narrowed that down, that would be something that would be more specific. And so we'd like to be strategic in addressing all the work that needs doing in the city.
We always ask, the commission always asks that whenever we get a new mayor in, because we have our charter that says the things that the commission is, focused on. But each mayor, when they come in, they have things that's important to them of it, and, yes, you have this charter, but I'd really like to know about this. When Mayor Bronson came in, he was like, I really want to focus on getting our word out there, that the benefits that the municipality has for veterans in municipal jobs. And that was one of the things he wanted to focus on, to what the city and what the municipality, that's one of the things he wanted. So while we're getting out, that's one of the focus things he wanted to make sure we try to put that out when we communicating with the veterans community, and the active duty to catch the people that ATAP they're coming off of, they're getting ready to get out, stuff like that. I forget when Mayor Berkowitz came in, because I was just a new member of the thing with Mayor Berkowitz. But the chair there, she would have a meeting every once in a while with them, so that if we had a question on something, she would get a meeting with the mayor to pass the information on and get the mayor's guidance on the topic. And it's just a thing that we do. That's when we meet here, and just that way we make sure that we're passing the information on, but we're also getting, you know, hey, we got this happening, and a lot of the information comes through, you know, the person that is in Marie's position. They come in and say, you know, this is what the office is putting out, or this is something that's been asked about. But there were times, the 11th Air Force Memorial, I don't know if you know about it, that was actually brought to us by Mayor Bronson, because he was asked about what was going on with it here, not last winter, but the winter before, why the flags weren't flying. He asked us to look into it, and we found out that the whole thing is falling apart.
Okay.
And that's been an ongoing piece, because at first it was said that the municipality doesn't own it. Well, then we found out through documentation that as it was going through and look, that even though the municipality didn't build it, had nothing to do with the building of it, they did, through the Merrill Field, they did donate or allow the memorial to be built on municipality land. And which makes it municipalities. But it was never given to Parks and Rec or talk to them for them to make a plan to do anything with it. And I've talked with them, and they're like, there's no way that we could fund anything that needs to be done with this. They don't have the funding because they didn't have the funding for the upkeep. I mean, it is literally falling apart just for the lighting and some of the other pieces is close to $20,000. And that's not even counting what's going on with the concrete pieces and that. There was an effort that was going on with it back before COVID hit, that there was a discussion with some of the senior NCOs on J-Bear, and they were going to work on maybe getting it moved into J-Bear. Well, when COVID hit, all the communication stopped. All the people that were involved in those communications are all gone. And pretty much J-Bear's like, we had no place for it.
What?
Uh,
Come on, like,
Where is
a
it?
lot of room out there.
Where is that again?
That's on the backside of Merrill Field,
Okay.
the flag poles that are up above, when you're going down 15th.
Okay, great.
And we've turned in documents in the whole packet that we've got
Uh-huh.
to the mayor's office. If you don't have it, we have copies of it, and I
Okay.
can give it to you again.
And that's with the new administration, or was that before?
That was before.
Okay, yes, I'll email you because it
Okay.
might be easier to get it from you than to look for it.
All right.
Yes. I
Has
will
there
do
been
that.
any changes in the 11th Air Force out there as far as leaders that we can approach and talk to them again?
Well, there's always changes in leadership,
Yeah.
and there has been. But what's gonna, I mean, the mayor's office and the council is gonna have to decide what they want to do with it first.
Yeah.
You know, because that's it. And right now it's closed off, it's bordered off, barriers and because it's actually unsafe for people to go
Okay.
up there to it, because the ground has dropped. They're pretty stoutly built pieces under the flagpoles, but the ground has dropped a couple feet. And the big walls that are up there are, and it's too bad because it was a really beautiful monument before.
And if it's okay, I know the mayor has another meeting that she has to prep for, so can I take notes for the rest of your?
Oh, yeah.
Meeting?
I said, we're pretty much getting
Okay.
close to being done. We were for the good of the commission, and we were finished up with that, and then perfect timing. The mayor coming in, so we could just go into that discussion. And
Perfect.
now a lot of us got to get back to work.
Great.
Thank you again, all of you, and I'm looking forward to working with you and future conversations, and just appreciate you making the time to do this important work.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I appreciate you giving us some time, and it'd be great to chat on some other things, because I'm working on a few of those other topics that you were talking about. So
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'll give you,
Fantastic.
yeah,
And stop in anytime.
I'll
Okay.
email you,
Right.
to send that Mr.
Let me
Garcia.
have it. I was going to the was coming back from another meeting and I was going to the first floor conference
Oh.
room. And I was like, wait a minute.
No.
Upstairs.
Yes.
All right. Take care and thanks again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Vincent.
Thank you. And you both are co-chairs.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Oh.
Nice. All right, great.
Thank you.
See you all online there.
All right, just to close up, does anybody else have anything else for the good of the commission? Not hearing any, I would,
Is Mike Paulson not doing anything about this now because he's leaving?
no, in fact, Sam has volunteered to take it over.
You need help, call.
I will.
Not- All right, I will, ask, do I hear?
Motion
a
adjournment.
motion? Thank you.
Seconded.
I got a second from Sam. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, next meeting, first Monday, excuse me, in September.
The second.
Oh, when is the holiday in September?
No, that will be the holiday. That's Labor Day. Yep. So it will be the 9th of September.
Son's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. To your son.
Anybody have a problem with the 9th?
September
9th of September.
should be good.
All right, 9th September. Same place, same time.
Right, we'll see you all
And you can-
again.
And you can terminate the recording now.
Oh, okay. All this, yes, we've been adjourned, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I do I host the Federation in our community council meetings, so I always turn the camera on and off, and sometimes I forget it and I get reminded.